to please be peaceful. Everything, everyone agrees peaceful protesting is the best path forward here, at least anyone who's serious about this. We do not want to see any violence across the country, similar to what we saw over the summer of 2020 after the George Floyd murder. All right, let's also focus back on something Nancy Pelosi said, the House Speaker. Here was the House Speaker earlier today after the ruling came down on Roe v. Wade.
Such a contradiction. Yesterday, they say the states cannot make laws governing the constitutional right to bear arms. And today, they're saying the exact reverse, that the states can overturn a constitutional right for 50 years, a constitutional right for a woman having the right to choose. The hypocrisy is raging, but the harm is endless.
Several people have been quick to point out that the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment, is enshrined in the Constitution. There is no right to abortion enshrined in the Constitution, at least according to this Supreme Court ruling. Let's welcome back, or welcome in, our panel to talk more about this today. Republican strategist Erin Elmore is here with us today, and so is Joe Barry, managing editor at the Babylon Bee. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, you're a lawyer, and I know we talked a lot about legality about this. It's not about this, how emotional this political issue has been. For a non-lawyer, I was just telling Bianca, one of the things that I like about Justice Alito and his opinions is even I can understand them. It seems pretty straightforward when you read the Constitution and then read this ruling.
Absolutely. I remember in law school reading a lot of opinions that took a lot of coffee and a lot of concentration. The way that this opinion is written, which I'm still combing through, is very cogent and very clear. And I'm going to point to a few numbers, a few dates rather, and then through the reading and things of like that nature. So, and when they say that this is a federal process and the federal right to abortion, until 1973, the states decided abortion cases. So this hasn't always been a federal issue. And then in 1992, Casey gutted Roe. And that's where they created the 14th Amendment right to privacy, making that the abortion right. So it didn't exist truly in the letter of the law until then. So this was sort of a made up construct, if you will, under Casey. So Casey gutted Roe, creating this privacy right, and that's where the undue burden standard came from, and that's what ended up with every single abortion case being litigated at the Supreme Court. So the big misunderstanding here that lay people and just people that don't watch the news that closely, no shame of theirs, is that this means abortion is going away. It does not mean that in any way, shape, or form. All it means is people get to get involved in the democratic process and vote for elected officials on a state level who then decide. So this isn't the house is burning, everything is on fire. States like New York and California will probably allow infanticide. So I think there's a lot of misconception, just like Governor DeSantis in Florida's air quotes, don't say gay bill that didn't even mention the word gay. It was the parental rights in education that was completely bastardized. This decision, too, will be bastardized. So I think it's very important for your viewers and everyone to get out there and explain to everyone, this does not mean abortion is totally gone. It becomes a states' rights issue. And anyone who wants a smaller federal government and wants more power in their democratic process should be happy about that decision.
And they want to mischaracterize it, too, and say they're coming after gay marriage next, contraception. But let's play a little clip from what Biden had to say and get your reaction. This is a bit of his speech from about an hour ago.
The court has done what it has never done before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans.
Joel, he didn't have any cue cards today to go walk out, stand at podium, spin. But I bet you'll have some fun with what Biden had to say today.
Well, I don't doubt that Biden's upset about this, based on his behavior with women and his son's behavior with women. I assume both of them are frequent flyers at Planned Parenthood.
When you go, again, going back to what Joe Biden just said there, the response to that is, show me in the Constitution where this is enshrined. You can't do it. The Roe ruling had to clob together the 9th and the 14th Amendments. Again, you're the lawyer here, Erin, but there is no constitutional right to this.
This is no Second Amendment conversation, as Nancy Pelosi was trying to sort of draw these comparisons. This is not comparable at all. And these two cases, whether it was Roe or Casey, had to try to construct a constitutional right. But let's face it, not what the framers wanted and not what the founders wanted. 2 more points to piggyback on Joel's point about eugenics. Anyone that doesn't know who Margaret Sanger is, who basically was sort of the brainchild behind Planned Parenthood, she wanted to kill and destroy African-American lives and African-American babies. That's why she advocated for having Planned Parenthoods in sort of these communities. So anyone who hasn't read about Margaret Sanger probably should. Anyone who doesn't vilify Planned Parenthood has a lot of reading to do. And another point is in this opinion, we say, what's next? What other rights are they going to erode? On pages, and I'm reading from my notes, pages 13 and 32 of this very opinion, they said this is a completely different case than whether it's gay marriage or contraception or any other issue, because it is about destruction of fetal life. This isn't going to erode any other case. And they made that abundantly clear and pointed that out in the decision because they knew that this would be a left-wing talking point. That's why they explicitly addressed it in the opinion. None of these other issues deal with fetal life. And again, that's on page 13 and 32 of the opinion. So when you hear any left-wing pundit talking about that on TV, they haven't read the opinion.
Here's also a little insider information. Anytime that I'm on deadline pressure and I need reading on a legal case, I always send it to Erin because she's like a speed reader. And she actually reads this stuff every single time.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's good to have friends like Erin who I can pick up on speed dial and say, Erin, can you please read this for me? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what it means. But like I said before,
digesting the gun case from yesterday. So this has been a lot. I haven't done this much legal reading since my tenure at Villanova University School of Law. So it feels good to be back in the saddle a little bit, but it does give me a little bit of PTSD. But this is a big case. Yesterday was a big case, both monumental for our democracy.
Big stuff. Joel, last word to you on this. We didn't have time to get to our memes today, but if we did, we'd feature yours, of course. And one of the things, too, that I think we can't, this is putting more power back in the hands of voters.
An attorney, Republican strategist, Erin Elmore, thanks so much, guys, for being with us on this historic day.
Historic day indeed. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Bianca, it's like now I always ask people, like, what does the federal government do well? Why should we give them more power?